Aye, been a long time, but I am back uh, doing another review. I haven't done these in a while, long while. Personal stuff going on in the background, and I got a bit lazy, so I'm gonna try and do this again. Make a second attempt at doing reviews of movies, TV shows, games, that kind of thing. Won't really, my reviews won't go into like behind the scenes stuff, just gonna be like review of the story in the movie or TV show. TV show will probably be like episodes, do it by episode, maybe do it by season. Depends on how I'm feeling. So, right, back to it. I am doing a review of Halloween, the original, from 1978, directed by John Carpenter. Like I said, the review is not going to go into nothing more than just story. If that's not your kind of thing, sure there are other reviewers of the same movie out there who go into much more detail. This is a horror classic movie. It really set the genre aflame. It stars Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasence. So the movie. Sorry, just try to get back into this. Sorry, sorry so many times. Right. Okay, so the movie starts in October 31st. October 31st in 1963, where 6-year-old Michael Myers murders his sister Judith, kitchen knife, dressed as a clown. Michael is then taken to Smith's Grove Sanitarium, where he's put under the care of Dr. Samuel Loomis, played by Dr. Pleasence. Loomis takes care of him for the next 15 years. Spends half the time trying to keep Michael from being released. Sorry. He spends the first half of Michael's time in the sanitarium trying to get through to him, and he spends the second half trying to keep him locked up, because he realises behind Michael's black eyes was evil, pure and simple evil. So that's what he does. So on October 30th, 1978, 15 years after Michael's killing of his sister, Dr. Loomis and his nurse Marion Chambers, who'll come into play in later movies, are going to Smith's Grove on a rainy night to escort Michael to a hearing for the murder of his sister, which now is Michael is 21-year-old adult. He will now face a murder trial, and potentially, potentially get out, or if he's found. I don't know how mental state works. But Dr. Loomis is trying to ensure that Michael stays locked up for the rest of his life. On the way there, Dr. Loomis and Marion discover that several patients have escaped the asylum. So when Dr. Loomis gets out to, gets out of the gates to phone ahead to the asylum to see what's going on, Marion is attacked by one of the patients who steals the car and escapes. And Loomis realizes that Michael has got away. Sorry, I'm taking so many breaks again getting used to this. Right. So Dr. Loomis decides to go after him. Halfway to Hanfield, where Michael used to live, the town they used to live, Dr. Loomis finds a pickup truck on the side of the road and finds Michael's patient sheets that they wear, but he doesn't notice the dead body that's in the grass. The reason Loomis stopped off at that area is he was trying to phone the Hanfield police to inform them that Michael's coming back to Hanfield. But he discovers the pickup truck and the white sheets, but he doesn't notice the body of the mechanic that Michael stole a mechanic's jumpsuit from. Funnily enough, knowing that, and when people talk about, the people that Michael kills, they always forget about the mechanic that he steals his jumpsuit from in the original movie. In Hanfield, meanwhile, teenager Laurie Strode, played by Jamie Lee Curtis, is dropping off keys at the old Myers house that's been left derelict and abandoned for her father, who's a real estate agent, and that she's dropping off the keys at the Myers house because there's people coming, potential buyers for the house. Along the way, she meets a wee boy named Tommy Doyle, who she's babysitting that night on Halloween. But once she drops the keys off at the Myers house, unaware that Michael is in the house already, Tommy informs her that that's the house of the boogeyman. But, she doesn't believe that the boogeyman is real. Interesting thing to note that Laurie sees Michael throughout the day. First time she catches sight of him is outside her class room. While she's in the classroom, she sees him through the window. She sees him parked outside in the station wagon that he stole from Marion and Dr. Loomis the night before. Interesting to note is when Laurie sees Michael is that he's already got his pale white mask that he's known for. This is based on the likeness of William Shatner, who's best known for playing Captain Kirk. I'd say it's interesting because Michael already has the mask on, but the store that he presumably got the mask, the break-in isn't reported until the police don't respond to the break-in until later in the day. I've always found that a bit confusing why it took them so long, because you see them responding to the break-in at the store later on, but why they don't, it's always confused me as why they only just respond to it then when Michael is shown wearing the mask throughout the day. So that Laurie first sees him outside of the school, and Michael begins following her and the young boy Tommy that she's looking after that night. Michael, when he's following Tommy, sees that Tommy being bullied at school. Another kid named Lonnie Light doesn't really come into a major factor until later movies. The most recent movies, it doesn't really play much of a role. Tommy does in a couple of Halloween movies. So when Laurie and her two friends, Linda and Annie, are walking back from school, they see Michael driving by in a station wagon. Annie makes a comment about Michael kind of speeding, saying that speed kills, which causes them to halt for a second. Laurie also catches sight of Michael standing next to a hedge, or bush, depends on what you call it. When Annie goes to see, Michael's already gone. And then Laurie sees him again and outside, in the backyard when she gets home. She obviously gets an eerie feeling from Michael. Later that day, her friend Annie picks her up as they're both meant to be babysitting. The two kids that babysitting are just across the street from each other. So, as they're driving to the kids, Michael follows them not very discreetly in the station wagon. You'd think they would, notice, the same station wagon that they saw earlier that day is following right behind them, but they don't for some reason. And like I mentioned about break-in at the store earlier, as they're driving by, they see the police responding to the break-in, and they briefly talk with Annie's father, the Sheriff Lee Brackett, or Lee Brackett, depending on how you pronounce his name. After a quick chat, they drive off, and Brackett meets Loomis for the first time. Loomis wants to obviously talk to him about Michael, and as Brackett walks off to check on the store, Loomis completely misses Michael driving right by. As the girls are driving to the kids, Annie talks about that there's a dance coming up and that Laurie's basically got no one to go to. Laurie makes a brief mention of a boy that she seems to like named Ben Tramer. But and Annie kind of mocks her about. So once they get to the house, they both go to the separate houses across the street, and Michael begins stalking Annie and the girl that she's babysitting, Lindsay. Whilst Michael is stalking them, he also kills Lindsay's dog, and then he gets a bit of. She gets what the fuck is it called? Anyways, her clothes get dirty. I can't. Damn. Sorry, I forgot. But anyways, her clothes get dirty anyways, so she goes to put them in the dryer and gets stuck in the bit in the garden where it's really going to annoy me. I can't remember what the damn thing's called. What the heck is it called? Alright, anyways, I'm wasting time. She goes out into the garden bit where the washer is to put her dirty clothes in, but she gets stuck. So she tries to climb out the window and gets stuck in the window. Annie's boyfriend Paul then phones Lindsay's house, so she goes out to get her, freeing Annie. Annie learns that Paul, who she thought was grounded, is managed to get away. So Annie takes Lindsay to Tommy's house so that Laurie can take care of Lindsay while she goes to hook up with her boyfriend. Annie to hook up with her boyfriend for at least an hour. So Annie reveals that she also talked to Paul about about Laurie liking Ben Tramer, and Ben is also interested in her, which Laurie isn't quite happy about. So Annie makes the deal that she'll get Paul to talk to Ben Tramer about not going on a date with Laurie if Laurie will take care of Lindsay until she gets back. So when Annie goes to get in her car to go and meet up with Paul, she's killed by Michael. Tommy, when he's playing when he's hiding from Lindsay trying to scare her, he sees Michael carrying Annie into the house. So when he says he's seen Boogeyman, Laurie doesn't initially believe him. Meanwhile, Loomis and Sheriff Brackett go to the old Myers house, where they also find another dead dog, and which Michael seems to have partially eaten. So they go upstairs to where Michael killed his sister. Loomis goes into got really terrible memory, but he talks to Brackett about how when he first met Michael, he had the blackest eyes, the devil's eyes, and he knew that Michael, who hadn't said a word since he killed his sister, that he was just pure evil. Brackett is entirely convinced, but agrees to keep an eye out while Loomis stays at the house in case Michael comes back. Bit later, Loomis scares off a bunch of kids who tried to sneak into the house for a bit of a dare. The same boys who were bullying Tommy earlier in the day. And then Brackett turns up and he's like, he doesn't seem to believe that Michael is here, as there's been no sign of him. But he reluctantly agrees to keep watch for the rest of the night, just in case Loomis is right. But he tells Loomis that if Michael is in Hanfield, then Brackett partially blames him for letting Michael out when it wasn't even Loomis's fault. Sorry I'm taking so long. It's just I'm just trying to get back into this. If I'm all over the place again, I haven't done this in a long while. Whew. Anyways, later on, Linda turns up at Lindsay's house with her boyfriend Bob for a hookup. But when they think, I don't know if they're supposed to. I don't know if they were doing something with Annie that they were hoping that Annie would get Lindsay away. They were going to meet up with her, but they didn't know at the time that Paul would get away. So I don't know. A bit confused about why they turned up anyways. So Linda and Bob have sex, completely unaware that Michael is in the house. So when Bob goes to gets some more beer, he is killed by Michael in the infamous kill. And Michael pins him to the wall with the knife. Michael then goes upstairs to Linda, but she thinks it's Bob because Michael's wearing a white sheet over himself with Bob's glasses. So when Linda goes to phone Laurie, Michael takes a chance to kill her by wrapping the phone cord around her neck. This is when Laurie hears the struggle, she thinks that it's Annie playing a trick on her because Annie had earlier in the day done a similar thing. But Laurie begins to worry about her friends. So once she puts Tommy and Lindsay to bed, Laurie goes over to Lindsay's house to check on her friends, but finds the house completely dark. Hearing a noise upstairs, Laurie goes to check and finds the bodies of bodies of Annie, Bob and Linda. Finds Annie's body on the bed with Judith Myers, Michael's sister's tombstone, which had been stolen earlier in the day, at the top of the bed, where Annie's body is lying on. As Laurie tries to come to grips with what's just happened, come to grips with finding her friend's dead, she's attacked by Michael, who slashes her left arm, and Laurie falls down the stairs, injuring her ankle. Laurie's able to get back to Tommy's house, but she's lost her keys to get back in. Is able to wake up Tommy to let her back in. Unfortunately for Laurie, she discovers that Michael's managed to get into the house from a window that was left open. That Laurie is able to seemingly kill Michael by stabbing him in the neck with a knitting needle. Elsewhere, Loomis finds the station wagon and begins realising that Michael is in Haddonfield. He's just somewhere not at the house. He begins searching the streets for any sign of Michael. Sheriff Brackett meets him on the road, and he tells Brackett about finding the station wagon not that far away. So that now they know for sure that Michael's in Haddonfield, but who can search in the streets. When Laurie gets back to Laurie, when she gets upstairs, she tells Tommy that she's killed the boogeyman, but Tommy tells her, "You can't kill the boogeyman." It's funny, you can actually see Michael walking up the stairs when she's talking to the kids. Once the kids see Michael, Laurie hides the kids in another room and then goes into the main bedroom, leaves the doors to the balcony open, I guess, to make Michael think that she's climbed down over the balcony, and then she hides in the closet. Michael begins breaking through the closet, and Laurie stabs him with a coat hanger, stabbing him in the eye, which causes him to drop his knife. Laurie then stabs Michael in the chest, seemingly killing him. As Laurie then tells the kids to go down and get help. And sees the kids running out of the house, and as Laurie goes to leave, she's attacked by Michael, who's still not dead. Michael tries to strangle her, but Laurie's able to get him to stop by ripping off his mask. And you can briefly for a second see Michael's face. As Michael goes to put his mask back on, Loomis arrives and he shoots him 6 times in the chest, causing Michael to fall off the balcony. There's a bit. Because Lois then says to Loomis, she says, there's a bit of confusion of what she actually says. Some people think she says, like, was that the boogeyman, or that was the boogeyman, or something like that. There's a bit of confusion on what she actually says. Anyways, Loomis says, as a matter of fact, it was. To whatever she actually did say. Loomis goes to check on Michael's body. He discovers that Michael is gone, and then you get several shots of different parts, like of downstairs in Tommy's house and Lindsay's house, and then a shot of the Myers house. All while this is happening, you hear Michael's breathing, showing that he is alive and he is gone somewhere into the night. And that is my review of Halloween, the original. Sorry that was all over the place, and I can understand why that seems like a complete mess. I'm sorry about that. I've just not done this in a long while, and I thought I'd try and do this again. Not looking for subscribers or likes or anything. This is something from, like, something for me to try and do as a hobby, make videos and reviews of Halloween, not just Halloween, but other reviews, like some of my old reviews I've done of Doctor Who and Alien and Star Wars. I think I'll do re-reviews of those at some point. No, I'll definitely do that. But sorry, I've got a phone. Right, I'm gonna end this. Goodbye.